Well, hello, Bones. How are you doing?
I am great, Swain. Thank you for asking. Hey, Birds, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Feel good.
What is going on? What are you doing?
Okay, so, all right. So there's like an internet outage going on at my house. Like they're doing some construction. Must have hit a cable or something. Internet's been out for like 6 hours. It's like my only chance to record. So I figured, what the hell? I drove down. I'm at Bonesy's house now.
Oh, you guys like hanging out or something? Like before?
No. I'm up in my room. I'm recording where I usually record, and Birds is downstairs in my living room.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you're gonna hang out
Birds,
afterwards,
do you need
right?
like a LaCroix or something? Do you want anything? Are you good?
Yeah. Is it cool if I take one too?
Yeah. Just help yourself.
All right. Yeah. No. Like we hung out for like we put like a solid minute and a half up top, and then we went to our separate rooms to. We really wanted to stick to the true podcasting experience of not being able to see each other.
So,
also,
I mean, you're just gonna hang out afterwards, right?
Well, it's pretty late night. Got work early tomorrow. I mean, I'll see him before it's over.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, I'll rev the engine on my car so you can hear me as I leave. Anyways,
Vroom, vroom.
let's record a podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Vroom, vroom.
It started in the rafters, and after it went every which way. You're always burning those hollow hallways. I tracked you down, your guilty crown. Things keep falling from your mouth. Still, I'd love to put you out if I could. You burn it like a house fire. Turning like it's night as bright as day. Keeping all the neighborhood awake. What's it gonna take for me to save you? House fire. House fire.
What do you want?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, you brought me give me that one.
You want the orange one?
Yeah, I don't want lime.
Okay, I like lime. This is good.
You can have it lime.
Hey, Swain, can you hear me?
I can, Birds. Hi.
He says hi.
Okay. Do some really good podcasting, but nothing too great. Your room looks really nice, man.
Oh, thank you.
I like that keyboard.
Yeah, it's kind of it's cheesy, but it's cool.
Yeah. Well, goodbye.
All right, see ya. Thanks for bringing Ray up.
Yeah, have fun with that.
What? Oh, visual bits on a podcast.
Crucible Radio podcast, all things Destiny 2 PvP.
Here he comes.
What did I miss?
Literally nothing. All right. Well, now that we're hydrated, welcome everyone to Crucible Radio, to your source for all things Destiny 2 PvP. We're so close. I can feel it.
We're almost there. Almost there.
This limbo. It
wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so damn hot.
Like
It's hot and I'm miserable and
I just want to talk about how Birds really just incoherently complained about the concept of time just now.
Here's the thing, man.
Time!
As we all know, I'm old AF. Not really, but relatively. And
old
as
and
you
drunk.
get older, I most definitely not. That is just not true. I don't have a problem. As you get older, it seems like time starts passing faster. Every weekend is swinging past a bit faster. The weeks blow by, and it's nice when you can sort of slow down and really, really feel it. Really appreciate the slow passage of time. But not like this. Not like this. This isn't what I wanted. Yeah.
we'll get there, guys. We will get there.
In the meantime, everyone is constantly desperate for more information, desperate for discussion, to hear people's thoughts. We're interested in your thoughts always, and you guys are interested in our thoughts at least some of the time. So today we have a very special guest coming up later on in the show. We're going to talk about some game in history with them and what we can look forward to. But first, we're going to answer some questions from you, the listener.
We'll also read some of the iTunes reviews.
Yes, I believe we have a few more.
They're so good.
You guys want to dive in? Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you know what? We can have a little fun today. We can just take any question at face value because I'm sure there's gonna. I say I'm sure. I know for a fact that some of these questions are not going to be just about Destiny 2, but we will answer them to the best of our ability. So first question of the episode, some guy, Michael Tash says, "Why am I the Rumble King? It feels like nobody can beat me, and it's boring."
I mean, I've never actually seen him win a game of Rumble. I've watched him play a lot of Rumble. That's for sure.
You never save for the end.
Yeah, no, I like short bursts of Mr. Tash.
Tash, it sounds like you have a personal problem that no one else can help you with, but that's the pain and struggle you feel at
There's
the top.
actually a solution coming up. It's called Destiny 2, and it won't have Rumble.
Destiny 2, all your problems have been solved.
You're the king of nothing.
Here's a question from Sicolas. It's like Saint Nicholas, but it's Sicolas. And
He sounds
shout
familiar.
out. Yeah, shout out to our boy Sicolas who edits the YouTube video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can thank him for putting together the crispy clips. And he asks, if you were to put all the time and passion you've put into Destiny with another game, what would it be?
I don't know if I could ever put the same kind of time into another game as I put into Destiny, because there's not many things with that kind of replayability.
Or like that sort of depth. Like it doesn't have it doesn't go as deep as Destiny goes.
I would say if I could combine two games that actually this is my new headcanon, that these games actually take place in the same world. When I can, I've been playing so much Titanfall 2 recently, and I love it. It's so fast. It's so frenetic. I love unlocking all the skins for my guns and doing the wall riding and feeling like a beast. And I could just like keep on regenning in that. And then to combine that with this other game I play, it's a Steam game called RimWorld. That's like a cross between SimCity and Dwarf Fortress, but it's basically just like a sadistic society simulator where it's like, all right, I'm going to go colonize an ice planet and I'm going to bring nothing but power armor, rifles, and a thermal generator. And anyone who happens to land on the planet, I'm going to take them prisoner and harvest their organs in my organ harvesting factory. Like if you could somehow combine that with Titanfall, I would be a happy camper, and I'd just
a RimWorld podcast starring birds would be absolutely terrifying.
It's a game that'll teach you about yourself. How weird are you willing to get with it?
Yikes.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the cop-out answer and just say Overwatch.
Damn it.
There's the one.
Oh, man. I played some Sonic Mania this week, and I didn't realize the peaks of my anger until that game. So definitely not Sonic Mania. Probably Overwatch.
Okay.
We just keep ruling games out until the only ones that are left are the ones that we'll devote our lives to.
The one you don't hate yourself over. Here's a really good question from Riley Hall. It says, it's D2 release day. You wake up, you're pumped. What balanced breakfast do you have to start your day? The day of Destiny 2.
Well, it's probably 1 a.m.
You wake up, it's 1 a.m., you're pumped.
Good morning. You look out the window, it is nighttime. Probably pizza. What better way to start off a disgusting day of 18-hour gaming than pizza?
Man. I don't buy that, because if I ate the breakfast that I wanted to eat every day, it would just be like eggs and bacon and sausage and sourdough toast.
Yeah,
come on, potatoes are like the best part about breakfast.
Come on, give me hash browns, give me home fries, give me all of that. But the problem with that breakfast is that were I to eat that breakfast, I would then immediately have to go back to sleep, which is not what you want to do on D2 release day. So I would eat my regular breakfast. Actually, I've been like making this religiously. I don't even like it, but I've been making it religiously like every morning, and it has like I make it with my coffee, and it's just improved my life to like not think about it. I just eat some fucking oatmeal, man. Some quick oatmeal with some blueberries in it, and it's just like a big bowl of slop to start the day off. But you feel energized after. It's nice.
Yeah, no, I've been drinking like a green smoothie because I apparently do not eat enough vegetables. So there's that. Probably what I'll have that day.
The chef who works at a barbecue restaurant is not eating enough vegetables. Is shoulder a vegetable?
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, Bonesy, from down here, I can see your Soylent crate over there. How's it back in the world of tomorrow?
Man, it's a different recipe. Like, it's so good. It tastes like probably better. But I think I was telling you, like, it doesn't fill me up. So I drink it at work and I'm like, that's all I get for today. And it's a little sad. So I think I need to start like putting it into smoothies or something like that. But hey, it helps me avoid some stupid shitty lunch from whatever boring restaurant I'm super tired of by my office. So it's been working.
Well, that's breakfast.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good question. It's actually a little bit of a combo. So Smiley first asks, if you could create your own game type for the Crucible in D2, what would it be? Quick play or competitive too, if you want to clarify. And then Doom World piggybacks and says, if you could steal one game type from another game, what would it be? So let's do this. You can either create your own or steal one from another game, but what would you put into the Crucible?
I would steal one.
What would it be?
Escort the payload.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I feel obligated to say Rumble.
You would steal that from another game.
Yeah,
Destiny
right?
1. I would steal it from Destiny 1. Put it in Destiny 2.
That's boring. That's boring. I'm gonna say attrition from Titanfall 2, where you've got big teams, you've got a big map, and there's this like tempo in the game of being a person, and then you call your big vehicle, and then you fight in that for a little bit, and then there's PvE enemies around, and you're playing a point system, but you can also go hunting other players, and there's just like this mechanic of like someone is in a big destructive war machine, and you're just dancing around their feet trying to mess with them. That's a fun one. I like that.
It would require a lot of finagling with map sizes, I think. But I would love to steal Rush from the Battlefield series. It's one of my favorite PvP modes of all time. And obviously it works better in that game based on the fact that it's like a war sim, but you get, like 100 respawns, and you've got to push to get 2 points. You blow up those, and then the whole map shifts, and you're fighting in a different environment, and your army pushes up, and you move the lines. Literally, the front lines kind of move and change, and then the map changes, so your style is suddenly different, and you're playing in a much different spot. And I love that. I just love how it's almost 3 different maps throughout the game, and they're really long games, so you get just in the zone. You can rack up 60 kills in a round, and that's awesome. So I would steal that. Next question. Is anyone likely to keep playing D1 after September 6th? Asks Paco Trouble.
Oof. Man, probably not for the PvP.
I think the obvious answer is that probably not, just because it'll be new. But I think what makes Destiny is that you want to just be with your character and level up and stay in that world. And time is going to pass and things are going to be so different and stuff like that. So for me, it's it's not even a question. It's just, no, I've moved into this next section of the next chapter in this life. So easy for me.
This is kind of teasing ahead to our interview, and I just have a feeling this is going to come up because we definitely record this in chronological order. I suspect, because I agree with you, Bonesy. I'm ready to play D2. I'm ready to say thank you and goodbye to D1. But I think there's going to be people playing D1 for a long time. I think there's you're going to be able to log into D1 and maybe they'll just crunch it down to one PvP playlist. But yeah, I think there's going to be the hardcore that stick with it because hey, you know what? D1 is a sweet game, and you don't always have to say goodbye. It's not going anywhere.
Bye bye, Rumble Pony.
Bye bye, Pony.
You can say goodbye if you want to. Oh, here's a good question from John Martini 79. He says, now that D1 is coming to an end, what's one thing you'd wish you'd gotten to drop or regret that you didn't do in the game?
Ooh.
I'm not even gonna say God roll, just like a year 2 Matador with 3 good perks on it. Like, why do I need so many Grave Robber Matadors? Just like every game I'm getting a Matador and they're all just dookie. Just give me just one. Just one. Like look at the one I'm using right now. Just it's the best of a lot of failed rolls. That would have been nice. I think I got everything else I wanted though.
Man, I feel really bad that, well, after I switched PlayStation accounts, I just kind of tossed a lot to the side as far as completionism goes. Just because it was almost impossible at that point. I just wanted to kind of get caught up on, one character and kind of stick to that. But I do feel bad that I didn't finish literally everything. And I'm pretty excited for Destiny 2 because that will just reset us all back to 0. And I can actually get back into it and finish things, get rid of all the pesky markers on my my map. Can't wait.
If I'm being real, there have been games in the last month where I'm warming up for a scrim series or something, and I kind of look at the results screen and I'm just like, maybe now is when I get my rangefinder rifle barrel hidden hand IS Luna. Maybe this is the game. And it hasn't appeared. And I just don't know why I think that's going to happen. And I'm going to take a break starting like real soon, simply so I don't get it on like the day before the last day and just lose my mind.
Ugh. No one left to shoot.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Zero Hour asks, has the Cheez-It war been resolved?
No,
Haven't heard about the
hasn't.
results
No.
for a long time.
I'll
It
take
was a
to
long
the
war.
Fucking grave.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, I
White
can't.
cheddar.
I'm having a flashback right now. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
I wish I had some Cheez-Its.
I ate Cheetos today for the first time in a while. It was weird. I felt like confused about who I was.
Why are these so messy?
I agree. This is not a Cheez-It, but Eugenie's cousin just sent her some snacks, and she sent just like a box of snacks randomly one day. And there's this bag of like Korean style pork rinds. I think they're pork rinds. They might just be pork flavored chips. The bag just says bacon chip on it, and they've got like red stripes on them, like
What?
like bacon. And I got to admit, these chips are pretty good. I'll say this: I'm taking a new stance in Cheez-Its. The only Cheez-Its I'm eating these days are homemade Cheez-Its.
What?
Deal with it. It's incredibly labor intensive.
And I'm the one being called the hipster chef here.
Well, practically speaking, it just means I
I
never
only
eat
like
Cheez-Its.
the homemade Cheez-Its. They're the best kind.
Yeah, I prefer small batch Cheez-Its from local sources. Yeah.
You guys suck.
I didn't know that birds could make me hate him more until just now. God damn it!
That's for you, buddy. All right, what do we got?
Well, let's jump over to our Patreon real quick, where
Well, before you do
patrons-
that, Bones, what's a Patreon? Why do you what?
What's a Patreon?
How do you participate in said Patreon?
The Crucible Radio Patreon is a place where you can show your support for us, the show, so that we can keep getting the episodes out, keeping that at a top quality, and also for a way to interact with us a little bit more. You get bonus recordings, you get an opportunity to play with us, some exclusive rewards from our store coming up, and we do giveaways very frequently too. So yeah, come hang out. You can join the members lounge and chit chat, or otherwise just meet some other cool people who love this game just like you love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun time. But we have a question from Phantom Hawks 14 over on the Patreon. And he says, I'm still curious about whether or not you think Titans will get some sort of dodge or evade maneuver, or maybe if and when they bring back the solar subclass.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't want to say it, but maybe I'll just be the guy to say it.
Ooh.
I think Titans have had their time in the sun.
Hey!
That like all the notions about like the tank subclass, the bashing down the door. I mean, they still have that top speed when they want it with the control jump, but I don't know if they're going to be able to fly around like Batman anymore.
If it's going to come, it's going to come in exotic. I feel like they're trying to stick to very balanced versions of the classes across the subclasses. So even if they do drop Sunbreaker, I do believe it'll probably just have the shield, like the tall shield and small shield. I do want to say that after I deleted my Hunter yesterday and made another Titan for funsies, I got to play the Sunbreaker quest again, and I think I decided that I'm gonna wait in D2. I'm not gonna main anything until Sunbreaker comes back, and then I will return to my roots on the best subclass ever made.
Triumphant and glorious. I mean, like,
my heart of hearts, I'm a Sunbreaker.
We know very little about exotic armor in D2. I mean, we got some hint.
I think we got one, right?
Yeah, we got a bit of a hint for one. I suspect that they're not going to go so far as to put like a core movement ability evade move on an exotic armor. I think they don't want to repeat the Twilight Garrison or bust that D1 became. Yeah, I'm going to have to say, I think if it would sticking with sort of Bonesy's answer, sticking with the theme, that, yeah, Titans are just going to have a slightly different role now, a little more anchored, a little more linear. But I don't know. One thing I was thinking about, because, like, we're going to get that third subclass eventually. Probably got to wait for a DLC. I bet you we are not going to see Night Stalker, Sunbreaker, or Stormcaller again. Maybe like a reimagining of it, but like with that just kind of time between what we played in D1 and months and months into D2, something like that coming along. My guess is that we're going to be seeing something completely different for each of these subclasses. Maybe the same kind of role, but it's going to be a very different feel. Mark my words.
Well, we have a very important question from Morif, who says, I still want to know, McDonald's or Burger King?
Nice McDonald's, man. McDonald's.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just think that clown is so cool.
It's a miracle that I definitely pick McDonald's, even though that clown existed. Because remember those benches?
Bones.
Those things are freaky.
How much could I PayPal you right now to run downstairs and punch birds in the face?
I don't know, like $2.50.
Gotcha. Okay, give me a second.
$2.50 is what I meant.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
That's okay. I'd like to see how our friendship continues to develop after Bonesy has cold cocked me during a podcast recording. It's been, actually, I gotta say, like, and kudos to me, it's been a while since I've been punched in the face. So yeah.
Well, I don't want to break your streak.
Well, let's mix it up. Let's go with it. Let's see what happens.
Not getting punched in the face. All right, we have one more question on Patreon, and it's from Jacob Bag of Donuts, and he says, I have no questions, but I love you guys. We love you too, Jacob. He recently had to go through a really tough surgery, and everyone from the crew has been thinking of him, and we're glad to see him showing up in the comments. So, Jacob, we love you, buddy. All right, let's hop back over to Twitter, because there's another good one I see. This is from Ringo Canone, Ringo the Gun. What is the last thing you'll do in D1 for farewells?
Delete your Hunter. Make more Titans. That's what I did.
Play some Rumble. I mean, I feel like I'm in a good place. I've done my final vault cleaning. I've I'm at the point where like there's not a bounty that I care about enough to like even fly to the tower and bother picking up. Like this last Iron Banner was just like, yeah, we're just gonna play some Iron Banner. I'm not worried about trying to get that certain drop or whatever.
Me and you, Bones, we kind of left it off nicely with Joey the other night in Trials.
Yeah, that definitely did feel like this sort of goodbye. I have a few more Scrim League games scheduled, and that's fun because I will take any opportunity to work on my teamwork and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean that was kind of it in terms of my play. And I had an idea. Here's what I want to do. What would be so cool is on the last chance we have is to get an entire tower full of people and take a picture by that railing. So that means like,
oh, that's good.
You get a fire team of 8, I think you can get in, maybe with the party, or maybe you can take 6 in. But you'd have to like kind of communicate with the people in the tower. But I'd love to see just like a full shot of 16 people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be really awesome. So hey, if you're listening and you want to do that, we'll like tweet out a time, but everyone at the same time, just go to the tower there and wave and send a message if you can. And we'll all take some group family photos. I think that would be cool.
Oh, that's a good one.
Say goodbye.
All right, let's jump into one more serious question from Steelbeard. What are your perspectives on the likelihood of a divergent meta on both PC and consoles in D2?
Man, that'd be cool. I always like that aspect of Overwatch, how things were kind of different on the two.
Yeah. I remember back in the day worrying about that, wondering like, what's the point of playing on console if PC is going to be so different? And clearly, like the competition is there on PC, but it's kind of cool having little differences to say, I don't have to worry about that so much, or I can actually excel on this kind of obscure little play style on console. So I wouldn't mind. I think it's possible. I think there's a chance.
I mean, I suppose I'll just be contrarian for the sake of it. I hope it's not too different. I wouldn't be surprised if like, sniping is more predominant on PC than on console, just because, the aim is can be so much more accurate.
Yeah.
But I mean, to have it be a totally divergent meta where like, the loadouts we see, like the team comps going into a competitive mode are radically different for some reason. I don't know. I hope it sort of has that consistency, and people who are trying to play all three can sort of have a philosophy or have a play style that keeps on translating across them all. All right, one more serious question. Let's get into a couple farewell non-serious questions.
All right, here's a good serious, non-serious question from Lancelot Alden Rose. When will the new site be up?
What can I say, man?
Gotcha.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't want to keep saying the same thing. It'll be up when it's up. Deal with it. It's a lot of work.
It's going to be good. I've seen it. It's worth the wait, worth the hype.
We'll have the beta out soon. I can say that much.
Okay, one more question from Doom World. If the last word was a sandwich, what would be on it?
I feel like it's a sandwich that changed over time because at first everyone was using like a really tough crusty bread, but then everyone switched to really like soft white bread over time because it felt
the last word feels like a turkey club to me.
To me, the last word feels like a piece of toast, an over easy egg, slice of cheddar cheese, some salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of ketchup, another piece of toast.
Simple perfection. I'm going to say last word for me is like it's like a plate full of sliders, right? Because you pick it up and just like 1 or 2 bites, it's gone. But then it's back again. You're constantly reloading the sliders into your hands to eat them all up good. I don't know. Does that work? Are we buying that? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, sure.
Well, let's read some iTunes reviews before we take a quick break. Just a real quick few.
Last week really inspired some folks.
Yep. We love all of these reviews, and we want you to get on out over there and give us 5 stars and leave us a weird review because we love them, and we may read yours on the show. So here we go.
This first one from Gravy Special, 5 stars. Title, Snipeability. The most snipeable podcast. Or the podcast most likely to snipe you. I'm still a little unclear on the concept. I'll take it.
All right, this one is from Walruses. It's a tongue twister. Love It is the title, and it just says, I just love it.
I love that review.
This one, and I actually had to like sound it out to realize this one from Dr. G. Strangely compelling. I listen after work. It's usually better than being at work. The sports psych stuff is helpful too.
It's usually better than being at work. Sometimes it's the same.
I'll take it.
Oh, that's maybe my favorite.
All right, so this one is a long one, but I do just want to give a shout out to Ulick. Ulick?
I think it's E. Welch, but let's go with
Welch.
Ulick.
That makes sense. E. Welch says, even us old folks love it. I'm probably one of the oldest, 62, if not the oldest, regular listener to this podcast. I listen to every episode multiple times. It's my dog's favorite podcast, too, because it means longer walks for her.
And also she likes those T1 Destiny strats.
Yeah, definitely not a scrub, that dog. I could say with certainty this old fart gamer wouldn't have made it to the lighthouse 3 times if not for these 3 guys. My KD is vastly better. Who knew a podcast could be so educational and fun? Now get off my lawn. I have one more trials run to prepare for. Watch out for Harunga's mud. What? I'm going to wreck your face with my new burning eye. Hey.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
This is a good one. 5 stars. Titled "Swain is the Best" by Swain Stash. Signed Swain. Wait a minute. You're not allowed to do that.
Hell?
Actually, you gave us 5 stars. You are allowed to do that.
It was me all along.
He's inside the iTunes. We got a fun one here. Calling me an alcoholic. Thank you. I'm fine. I really am. Actually, I too am a fan of the Secret Society, but maybe not how you think.
All right. I'm going to read one more, and then you can read the last one, Bert.
Okay.
All right. This one is from, oh, hell yeah. What's a Destiny? Is the title. I've been listening to Crucible Radio since episode 0. I was reluctant to devote so much time every week listening to a time-traveling Viking who learned how to use technology, not Justin Trudeau, and the most recent Bachelor talk about a video game that I don't even play. But here we are. Honestly, after listening for the past 112 episodes, I can say with complete confidence, I still have no idea what a Destiny is. Thanks, guys.
That's amazing.
Dedication.
If you've only listened to this show and you haven't ever followed me on Twitter or watched me on stream, you know those Bachelor contestants that are all white and have the same haircut that's like short on the sides and long on the top, and they all have like just a tiny bit of stubble, but not very much. That's exactly me.
Yeah. Let's go to the hairdresser. Say, give me the next Bachelor.
One time I brought in Justin Bieber's mugshot to a haircut and it turned out great. Fun fact.
Well, there you go. All right. This one, this is the ender. There's no way we can read any more after this one. This one, I believe, is from Landisky on, I hope I'm saying that right, on Reddit. But this one, Crucible Radio, OP, please nerf, actually took me serious last week and frickin' delivered. There once was a dude named Bones who off to his trials team would moan. It happens too much. I'll try to be clutched. Then I get sniped in the dome.
So true.
Yep.
There once was a guy named Swain. The reason he wrecked wasn't plain. It wasn't his skills. He used to get kills. He said he had no time to explain.
Ah.
I feel like I'm tapping into like a hardcore NPR weekend variety show vibe here, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm Carl Castle on Wait, Don't Tell Me. I'm old and fitting. There was this old guy named Birds, about whom much we have heard. He doesn't drink. That's what he'd like us to think. Destiny is hard when your vision is blurred.
Seabirds, this is your out, man. It explains everything.
There you go. I'll run with it.
Ugh.
No, respect. That's freaking solid. I can't believe it. I love it.
That'll do
Folks,
it for iTunes reviews.
There are other ones. They're very funny. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. You could leave us a review on iTunes. Head on over there. Give us 5 stars. And you could leave us a review on the other stuff, too. I think Stitcher has its own system, so we'd appreciate it.
I'm looking at the Crucible Radio page in iTunes, and I can see that we've got a lot of 5-star ratings. We're under the audio section. We're in the video game section, and then we have the clean lyrics badge. Did we have to apply for that? Did they check up on that?
I swear I put it explicit the very first time I filled it out.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, whatever.
Oh, well.
Thanks, iTunes.
Okay,
Thank
folks. You can stop listening to us blabber. In just a bit, we'll get to our special guest, but we have one last message, and that is an announcement from our new sponsor this week, Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll is your source for everything anime. It's bringing the best of Japanese animation and pop culture to Santa Clara, California on August 25th and 27th. Hardcore and casual fans alike will find hundreds of exhibits, exclusive merchandise and screenings, roundtable panels, the cosplay masquerade, autograph signings, and guest appearances by some of the biggest personalities in the US and Japan.
If anime is your thing, you got to be there. This is the one. Early bird tickets are still available online at crunchyrollexpo.com. But prices go up at the gate, so go pre-order. And you know they're going to hook it up. You can save $5 off weekend tickets with code Crucible.
Don't wait, folks. Don't pay more at the gate. Offer code Crucible, $5 off on weekend tickets, crunchyrollexpo.com.
Well, I think it's that time of the episode where we, we dance a little, we feel a little bit, spicy, and throw it to the musical bird.
Throw it to the music. That's a cool phrase.
Come on, finish it. I'm hanging here.
Break.
Oh, break.
Musical break.
Boxes that were stacked on top of me, and I decided that they're empty company. Whole house is folded like a bad facsimile of all the life that it once held.
Hey guys, Engineer Andrew here, and the music this week is from Empty Atlas. So check them out at emptyatlas.bandcamp.com. And if you'd like to hear your music on the show, all you got to do is send us an email at crucibleradio@gmail.com.
To dispel, and I may never mend these fences I forced down while I was boxing, burying the weaknesses in me, always boxing, never putting an end to anything.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with a very special guest today. I'd like to introduce you to Riot from T1. Hey, Riot, how are you?
Hi. Doing pretty well right now. Definitely.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you.
Okay. It's been a while since we've done an interview. Everyone's dying to hear it. Here's how this starts. We ask you a little bit about yourself, your style and preferences as a gamer, and what games you played before Destiny. So give us a little history of Riot and gaming.
Oh God, well, it's been just a part of my life for forever. I don't think that necessarily is too deviant to what most people, I'm assuming, who listen to this have had go on.
Probably
in their lives,
like, what is it, GoldenEye or Halo?
Exactly, yep.
Those are the two.
GoldenEye when I was a little bit too young to be playing that game, perhaps.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm 23 now, so I was, like kindergarten, first grade or something like that when I first played GoldenEye. It was fun.
Okay. I'm confirmed old. Thanks for that.
We knew that. All right. Well, so more recently, I guess, then what brought you to Destiny?
So I used to play Halo a lot. It was started off playing, for whatever reason, my younger brother had the Xbox Live account. I was 12, he was like 9. But we would split screen Halo 2 and then split screening Halo 3. And eventually my skill level kind of surpassed him. So I got my own account to rank up and made online friends, and then played against their online friends who were better, and just for whatever reason, I just had this like weird drive. I had to be better than everybody else. You know, angsty 12, 13, 14-year-old Riot.
Sure.
And yeah, eventually just put up so much time and hours into the game that I kind of hit that, I guess, my own peak, if that makes sense. But kind of surpassed everyone at school, surpassed the neighborhood kids. Just playing online a lot.
So yeah, at that point you
you
switched over to playing online to play with people just as good as you.
Mm-hmm. Or at least find people who thought they were. No ego though,
I
of
like
course.
that spirit.
Yeah. No, traveled to a couple of MLG events. MLG Anaheim in 2009 was the first one that I like. It was weird because it was like the 4v4 was the main event for Halo 3. And then spectators were allowed to play in the free-for-all. And so I went and played in the free-for-all there and hit the top 16. Just barely. Squeaked through at the 16th seed and ended up in like 14th or something like that. That was like my first true taste of competitive, well, really anything, apart from like the local competitions and whatnot. You know, would be held at like a GameSpot or GameStop, anything like that.
Wow.
What was it like? I mean, making that transition from being like the biggest fish in a small pond to, you know, being on a big stage with real deal professional players. I mean, you sort of knew what you were getting yourself into, or was it a surprise?
I mean, just about every person in probably like the top 32 of that event, or at least people who were, it was seated pretty poorly. Like it was just, you entered in if you had free time. So it's not like the top players were necessarily playing in the free-for-all because they were still competing in the main 4v4 event. There was like semi-pro players who I'd been playing with and against, people I had been shit-talking for quite some time, and it was like seeing them in person. Like this little, I'm a small fish for sure there. I mean, I'm a tall, awkward, lanky guy. Maybe around his mouth a little bit, but fish-wise.
But fish-wise, yeah.
Fish-wise. Yeah, exactly. So I was maybe a little bit out of my league at the time. I was pretty quiet, just did my thing, sat down for or what would be the top 16 match, and was just shaking the entire time. It's hard to hold a controller.
Was it, I mean, did you find that the play felt different? I mean, you know, you play casually, or, you know, you play with your friends, you have a certain style, you have what works. Were you able to sort of take those just same skills and apply them to that competitive scene, or was it a different style of play that you had to learn?
I would like to say that the play style was fairly similar, just because I had played with and against like a couple of people in that same pod that I played with were people I had played like literally within that last week online on that map and that game type. So it's not like it was necessarily new. It was just the addition of it being a LAN rather than online. Halo 3's netcode was not exactly its strong suit, for sure. It's a little bit laggy at times. But LAN was a very interesting experience, having shots, not only your shots registering, but then also shots registering against you. You died a lot quicker on LAN, it seemed. Something that ended up taking me out a few too many times for my liking.
Understandable. And I guess coming out of that first tournament, I mean, you had your taste of it. You had that moment of like, all right, this is it. I'm really doing it now. I mean, how did you feel coming out of that? I mean, what was the plan after that?
After that, it was just to immediately get online and start shit talking and saying that I wasn't just somebody who was good online. I could also do it online. That was it. I was, I think, 15, I want to say, for that event. That was 2000. Yeah, I was 15 for that. And I mean, I didn't see myself ever going anywhere with MLG. Like I saved up money for a year to be able to get a plane ticket down, I don't know, 1,000 miles. Like I was from the Bay Area of California. So traveling to Southern California was like a huge thing, but I made $0 from that event. It was like, I think a shirt for top 8, which I didn't even hit. Like it wasn't like I was making anything. There was no sponsorships lining up.
It's a good thing you didn't show up shirtless.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Hoping to get the shirt.
I'll just win one.
I'll just win it, right? But yep. So close, but so far at the same time. So my whole thing was just to ego people with it. That was it. I was maybe not the smartest person.
Oh, we were all 15 once.
Mm-hmm.
15 and a genius.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's never wrong.
So what came next? I mean, I want to sort of fit Destiny in the timeline, but it sounds like before Destiny even came along, you know, you sort of continued to develop in that competitive world.
For sure. So that was 2009. After that, that was kind of like the end of the Halo 3 era. It was like one of the last events at least. I think it extended a little bit into 2010, but after that it was Halo Reach. Again, I didn't like really touch the MLG stuff. Had respect for it, had respect for the players, but played more of the default playlists. Halo Reach started with the arena. If you guys remember that by any chance or no?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So arena was essentially this, for any listeners who didn't know or don't know about it, it was essentially their
podcast hosts.
Competitive multiplayer event where it would be ranking you based on how you competed against like literally everybody. So Onyx was the highest rank. 1% was the 1% of, I think Onyx was a 10% of the player base or something like that. So I'd like hit these high Onyx at like the first season. I think I was top 10 Onyx in both, and by the second season I was top 1 in the 4v4 and the 2v2. And eventually they had another MLG Anaheim for Halo Reach. And that was like the end of my playing the game. Ended up hitting the top 16 for that free-for-all as well. But by that point, I was just kind of burnt out. I was about to enter my senior year of high school. I kind of wanted, like, I wasn't doing poorly in school, but I wanted to see if I could line up scholarships and whatnot. Kind of just slowed down my play. Gave me my ability to say, like, I wasn't just the one-hit wonder. I actually went back to an event and hit the top 16 again of a different game.
Yeah, my dad would threat me to send me to a different school if I didn't put down Pokemon.
You're not going to be a professional Pokemon player, Swain.
Time to straighten up or get out.
So, getting into Halo Reach, I mean, you're playing in 2s and you're playing in 4s. Were you developing sort of a team? Were you thinking as sort of a team player? Were you just solo queuing and going hard? Like, what was your mentality when it came to sort of that non-free-for-all aspect of it?
So I've just always, it's funny, it's like my success has been in free-for-alls, but I absolutely hate it. I'm much more of I like games for their social aspect, for playing with people. I love the competition of it playing against, but I want to play with a team. Even in Destiny, I don't like to solo queue ever. Like I want to play with people. I want to talk with them. I want to just share an experience together.
Right.
And the best way to do that, in my opinion, at least, the more people I can play with, the better. So BTB was my thing, big team battle, 8 versus 8s. That's what I did in Halo Reach. Yeah, like I would do the 4v4 stuff with people from my 8 versus 8 team, because hey, how am I ever going to have less people than like the team is required to have for a 4v4? If that makes sense. I feel like I worded that weirdly. But 8 people on a roster, there has to be 4 of us online to be able to play the 4v4. And when we have all 8 of us, great. Then we can just go do that. 6 or 7 of us.
Did you find yourself starting to develop an identity as a player within a team? I mean, granted, you're still a kid at this point. You're in high school, but I mean, were you just slan, or did you kind of view the team play as something more than just like working with a group of people that you trust?
We were a weird team. We just kind of made it work. So there was this, I guess it's kind of now a defunct site, but it's like a big team battle site, like where they'd host online tournaments and whatnot. Our team roster was essentially just all like the better slayers, I guess, from Halo 3 got together just to play BTB. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we came about. It's actually kind of funny because it's maybe not a lot, but there's definitely some of the names there. Like Game Stager, for instance. He and I used to team up in Halo Reach. Heaven Hands, another Tier 1 member. He and I have been playing together since like 2008 or 2009. Ooh. We were doing BTB stuff together.
So the roots of T1 were pretty deep as far as like some of you guys like.
Yeah, we've known each other for a while, for sure. Maybe not everybody together, but there are definitely some of the deeper roots there.
So I do want to transition kind of to Destiny because that's where we are. We are not a Halo. Right? Yeah, we're not a Halo memory podcast for sure. But what, like, I'm assuming that, you know, you wanted to play Destiny because it was a Bungie game and you've obviously played a lot of Bungie games in the past. Is there anything else that kind of really drew you to it? Or was it like you talking to, you know, fellow, you know, like teammates of now and being like, oh, we should all, you know, get in there and see what we could do?
Yeah. So, it's funny initially. It's like, not to jump entirely back into the Halo thing, but it was like 2012, I want to say, is when, or not 2012, what was that? 2013. I think that was Master Chief Collection came out, and around the time that Destiny was coming out. And I was going to be, I was going to get an Xbox One because I was still on 360 at that point to get MCC as well as Destiny. But MCC had just such a failed launch of the game that I ended up just staying on 360 and basically just not playing anything. And I was also a little bit annoyed with Destiny because I had always been just an Xbox fanboy. I was only Xbox. How dare you even bring PlayStation into the discussion of good gaming consoles at the time? Because Microsoft did have kind of at that moment a monopoly on the first-person shooter archetype, which is what I had generally played.
Yeah, it was it's so odd that now we're like you see flipped. Everyone is PlayStation.
It's pretty flipped. Microsoft has kind of fallen.
Simply, it's because like I'm pretty sure Xbox kind of dropped the ball. Like they didn't go forward and weren't as hungry as PlayStation. I feel as far as like that scene, the FPS scene is definitely what drives console sales for sure.
No, exactly. Yeah, PlayStation got exclusivity on a lot of big titles. Microsoft, they didn't let them slip.
R.I.P. All right.
Yeah, so it was the whole like Destiny giving exclusivity to PlayStation, and then also the Destiny beta, the original Destiny beta was extended on PlayStation compared to Xbox. I took that as like such a major offense against myself that I opted to not buy the game right away. So I ended up playing Destiny like 7 months after its release. I want to say I started playing March 2015, I think. Something like that.
Right around the time that House
of Wolves. Exactly, yeah. It was like a month or two before that dropped. That's when I started playing. But I picked it up because I saw some of my old friends were on the game. It was just, well, if I'm getting an Xbox One, all my friends are playing this game specifically. Let's just get this game and see how it is. And I kind of fell in love with it. For all the faults Destiny has. It's
funny how that happens.
It's a good game, right? Yep.
So you joined in basically on the eve of Trials of Osiris. Did you play a lot of that at the start, or how soon did you get into competitive threes or competitive fours? Right away?
Yeah, immediately into it. I wouldn't necessarily say competitive. I never participated in tournaments and whatnot. I'm still very much so opposed to like the use of the word sweat or sweat or whatever it is.
Yeah,
people do. But I can respect it. I can respect that people want to play the game in a competitive manner. I just don't think that there's necessarily, we didn't really have the setup for it back then.
So those all those Halo skills, those translated over no problem. There was no learning curve for you.
For sure, some. I think it took me about 3 weeks to realize that I wasn't just a terrible sniper, but that you actually don't have jumping accuracy in this game.
Yeah.
Nobody told me.
That'll do it.
So there was 3 weeks of me trying to hit jump shots and just before I was streaming, yelling at my monitor, like, why is this shot not registering? It's directly on its head. Like going back and rewatching footage that I was like clipping, it's like, see, you can see the reticle. Why am I missing this? Jackasses that I was playing with like went along with this whole thing, and then, no, you're just missing. 3 weeks of that.
when you first hopped into the Destiny world, and I'm curious, sort of coming from Halo, did you find yourself having sort of an early affinity with one subclass in particular? Did you play them all? I mean, what felt right?
Started off with Golden Gun, Gunslinger, just because it was the most similar in terms of like jumping style and whatnot. Had a pretty powerful super. Eventually, I started playing Blade Dancer because I had one person in particular blink out of my rocket one too many times. It was just okay. Now I'm switching.
Can't beat him, join him. One of those.
Exactly. Plus arc bolts. Blade Dancer's super was still pretty strong. But I played everything in year one. Maxed out my Grimoire within probably 6 months of playing the game. I maxed it out before Destiny 2 came out, or not Destiny 2, excuse me, before Taken King came out. So I had my 5,000 Crucible kills on each character or class, all that.
So pretty quick then.
Yeah, exactly. I was grinding. I was definitely grinding a lot.
So let me ask, were you streaming at this point?
I was not, no. No, I wasn't actually even in Tier 1. Game Stager offered me an invite like a month into me playing the game, but I turned him down because I was with this just team of another group of Halo players that I had associated with in the past, called Easy Mode. And I don't really know why. That's what it was. Because it was like an all or nothing. It's like I join Tier 1 and bring everybody in Easy Mode over, or I don't join at all. Then eventually it was arranged where I and one other person from Easy Mode get moved in. Here I am.
There you go. So, I mean, tell me a little bit, sort of starting up in the streaming world. I mean, that's it's definitely a big commitment, and you're certainly committed to it. What was sort of that transition like, and what was it like to, have an audience directly all the time, more than just whatever poor team is going up against you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my first stream was November 7th, I want to say, 2015. I had done the weekend before. I think that was like the Halloween weekend, doing Trials Assistance with Giggle Monster Gigs. Connor. Mm-hmm. And I was on a Sunsinger. I was like popping self-res on heavy rounds and all that good stuff. And he just said that people wanted to see like why my playstyle, like what I was doing, why it was working. So convinced me to go out, buy a Kinect, and fire up a stream. From there, it was fun. It was that social aspect. It's like, not only do I get to talk to the people in my fire team, but then there's also other people who want to talk to me. Like, what?
They definitely want to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. That like Halloween spooky trials was definitely one of my favorite weekends, like in Destiny memories as far as D1 goes. Do you have any like favorite D1 moments? I know you jumped in a little bit late, but aside from your first stream, is there any like moments that you distinctly remember?
I can definitely say that the release of Wrath of the Machine, even though we ended up getting the world's 4th completion, that was a ton of fun. That was the first, I guess it was King's Fall was my first raid, but I didn't even have a full fire team to start that one up. So the Wrath of the Machine raid from Rise of Iron was the first raid that I actually prepared for, and we were writing down strategies. There were so many messages sent back and forth. I like to take credit, at least, to be the first person to figure out the, of course, now that on the spot, I can't remember the dude's name, but Mexus. I'm pretty sure I was the first person in the world to go kill him. I'd like to say that, at least. Because at least when you look at all the other streams at the time, we were the first team to complete the siege engine section.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take credit for that, but probably not. There was that. There was another Tier 1 guy, Lethal Vendetta, discovering the monitor that was on the siege engine section of the map. How we spent 50 minutes just shooting random objects and jumping off the map and trying to glitch our way into certain areas. Chats everywhere, or all of our chats just saying you're idiots, there's nothing there, they wouldn't put a monitor up there. Boom. Found monitor number 4, or 3 actually.
I take some sort of secret pleasure in hearing about great PvP players also just dominating PvE and doing well in those raid races and stuff. I don't know. Probably a bias, maybe not.
Oh, they're fun. They really are. That's the selling point of the game.
Yeah,
I think longevity
absolutely.
comes from PvP, but the immediate fun for me is definitely the PvE. Absolutely, it is.
I think that's just a great, perk of playing in Destiny. It's just like, oh yeah, we've got this, fun PvP, some amazing gunplay and amazing guns, but hey, also you could take that and you can go shoot, video like just monsters and do this like puzzle and work together as a team with 5 people. It's pretty great.
Exactly. It's I'm not trying to say Destiny is the best game ever created, but it's certainly a jack of all trades. Like, it has a little bit of everything. That's what I like about it. If I just want to go play against other people, Crucible. If I just want to go complete missions, Strikes, or I guess now the daily campaign list or whatever that thing is called, the rotating one, story mission. If I want to collect armor pieces, there is a way to grind for that. If I want to put a roll on a gun, I can go melt my brain somewhere and do that.
Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite part of sort of Destiny as it continued to evolve, was just sort of those pathways became a bit clearer. Like, if there was a particular drop you wanted, it was more than just grind everything and sort of hope for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess sort of as long as we're in nostalgia mode, and hey, you're the probably the last guest we're going to have before Destiny 2, so fitting. Looking back over D1, I mean, we've all had so many different guns pass through our hands. Can you talk about some of your favorite drops, your favorite guns, or just, memories that you've had with a particular set of particular loadout or piece of gear?
Year one last word. It took,
yeah, baby.
I had to eventually buy it from Xur, and I remember I spent all my strange coins so I could buy 3 of them. I had all 3 of them leveled within the first 24 hours because I just wanted one for each character without having transfer, because I wasn't using a Destiny item manager.
Oh yeah, back in the day, flying to your vault.
Exactly. So just spent that time leveling up. I remember the very first game that I actually played with it fully leveled, because I wasn't going to play with it in PvP until I had it at its absolute best. And oh my god, that gun. It's just so good.
It does really hit home on the Space Cowboy.
It did, yeah. And the twirling animation of it, that was fun.
I mean, for me, that is just one of the most Destiny guns for me. There have been so many good drops I've had, and it's not what I'm using now, but that one in particular, it just seems like they just went that extra mile to make it exotic, to have it feel like something truly one of a kind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was really good too, so that helped.
just a little good.
I mean, that's how I feel about Mida. Mida just feels good. Every part of it. The reload, how quick you move. Ugh. I'll miss that gun.
I can agree with Mida as well. Used that a lot recently. And Burning Eye.
What is it about Burning Eye that stands out to you? Because I know you've done some work with that gun, particularly against some other good players. What is it about the Scout? Because I'm a big Scout fan myself, but that one I don't use that one as much. So what is it about Burning Eye?
So a decent enough kill time is the most important part to me, but the explosive rounds on it helps negate damage fall off, which is a Scout rifle. It really shouldn't have much, but it does actually play some role in it on certain maps. Not at the Guardian Con tournament. Burning Shrine isn't a large enough map, but
sure.
Right.
It really is. It's the amount that it staggers an opponent, because Scouts no longer really have high caliber rounds. Explosive rounds kind of counts as that. And I don't think I actually got sniped in the tournament they had multiple snipers on their team. Yeah, the God Squad lineup. And I didn't get shot one time by a sniper while I was using that weapon. Not for a lack of trying, and not to say that they're obviously exceptional snipers, but to at least, maybe it's a little bit of a personal bias, confirmation bias on that, but I don't remember getting shot at least.
Yeah, no, I like that. Explosive rounds was one of those things that was always kind of a sleeper, and you didn't go up against it all that often, but every now and then you would, and it would be like, what is happening to my screen? Yep. Why is it so exploding right now? that and everyone kind of knew about it, but it never really took off in the same way something like High Caliber did. Yeah, definitely a unique perk.
No, it absolutely is. It's obviously it'll be, map dependent. Like I'm not gonna normally I wouldn't run a burning on a map like Cauldron unless I was trying to control gold stairs shooting into the blue room where the hill point spawns for I guess trials game types.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you're a scout rifle user, or at least you know how to make them work. We gotta at some point leap forward and start talking about D2 here.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the scout rifle in D2? What did you think about all the primary weapons and how they interacted together? Did anything stand out as interesting or particularly good?
Oh geez, okay, D2. I was actually kind of disappointed with the scout rifles.
Yeah, that primary one, the does not compute, I believe, is one of the only. We had that one and then the lower impact Viced one, and they were both a little different than what we have now.
Yeah, they were. They just the only so it was the you'll have to forgive me, I'm terrible with the map names on Destiny 2. It was the competitive game type mode.
Midtown,
okay, and
yes.
There was the street, right? Like the outside street with B, I think was the bomb point.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the only area that I felt like I could comfortably use a scout on and actually win regular fights against people, just because of how long ranged it was. But every other encounter on that map and then on the control map as well was just too small. There was no reason to use a scout over a pulse rifle because you get too close and boom, suddenly pulses are just obviously going to be dominant. You back up too much and you have to just sit at the back corner of the map.
Right.
It felt like at least, and then pulse can easily just maneuver around because you only have that one lane you can really look at. But I mean, pulses felt really strong. Nightshade, I think was the name of it. I'm going to embarrass myself during this.
The primary pulse. Yeah.
Primary pulse, yes. Yeah,
it's been like 3 weeks. It's impossible to remember them all.
Quickly trying to see if I can find it on Google. Just a map for a list of all the names here.
It's going to be one of those things that we're going to be in the game and we're going to look back to the beta like previously and be like, man, those guns suck. How did we think that this was the best?
Like Swain says, the game's going to come out. We're going to have hopefully a lot more guns to choose from and definitely hoping for some more choices in the scout category.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess just sort of overall, I mean, there's some pretty significant differences in D2 versus D1. Just in terms of like the overall sort of feel and sort of basic mechanics of it, what was your sort of first impression coming from D1 and sort of for the direction we're going next?
It is so much more team-centric was the first thing. Like I don't like solo queue to begin with, but I tried solo queuing on an account that had 0 games played on it, so it had no true skill or whatever it was going into it. I wasn't matching. At least I shouldn't have been matching up against like really solid players, but any team with any semblance of just cooperation steamrolled, it felt like. And I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, I'm a little bit worried about just like how little you really can do in a 1v2 even. Like if you win a 1v1 and because there was just a general lack of strafing potential, felt like every time I scoped in, I just wasn't really moving, even if I was jamming my thumbstick all the way left, all the way right. Especially if the other person was doing it too. It was just like 2 people moving an inch to the left, an inch to the right, back and forth on each other. So most of the gunfights I got into left both of us, one of us dead, the other one, I guess, had a very low shield count. So there was no potential to just turn around and then win the next fight either, which is something you can do in Destiny 1, be it wall peeking with a hand cannon or...
Winning those last Guardian standings is definitely an aspect of D1 that I hope they figure out how to incorporate it. Because I had the same feeling that you would get... it just felt, unwinnable at that point once you were outnumbered.
Yeah, which at the same time, like I understand that. One player shouldn't be advantaged, or I guess you're never really advantaged, right? But one player really should lose the majority of 1 versus 3 situations they get into. But at the same time, should probably be at least somewhat doable without the usage of like a power weapon. So the very few clips I saw of somebody winning that was using a fusion rifle or using a shotgun or some combination of that in a super.
So in those situations where you can't quite get out of a gunfight, how did you find yourself countering that just to stay alive and actually string kills together rather than getting to a life or death trade situation every time?
I kind of just sat with a teammate almost every available moment of the game.
Yeah,
in Destiny
sort of
1,
hold hands pretty much.
Exactly. Destiny 1, I'm usually the one who like makes that solo flank around the side just to either potentially get a quick pick with like a Mida or something, or at least distract them so they look at me and then my teammates can shoot at them. But that game, I wasn't flanking alone ever. It was, if I went off on my own, it was because I had like Blink as a way to immediately run away. I wasn't challenging anybody from the side if there was more than one of them.
Blink in D2 though.
It was strong. It was
Not so bad.
No, it was solid. I actually played Nova Bomb almost exclusively, or Void Walker. It was the super had some work.
Strange, a little different,
a little bit.
Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of it still.
I got happy if I got a single kill with it, like Blink on top of somebody, throw an overbomb directly down, and just like pray, like come on, he's not going to just lazily drift to the left and miss it, right? Come on, die, please. Yeah. Wait the 10 seconds. Oh, hey, it actually caught somebody.
One thing I wonder about, and you sort of made a comment earlier coming from Halo. Let me start by asking, have you had one way or another a chance to play D2 on PC yet?
I have, yes. I was fortunate enough to be at the reveal event. And then I also was stupendously lucky to sneak in. Not really sneak in, but may have gotten a recording session that I wasn't signed up for at E3.
Well, who's keeping track?
Right, exactly.
One of the things I noticed playing on PC, and granted, I'm a complete PC scrub, but I noticed that hip-fire accuracy, at least on PC, felt a lot better. I mean, it felt more accurate, and to a degree might have transferred over a bit to the console. Do you think? I mean, like, you know, as it stands with your primary in D1, you don't see a lot of hip fire outside of a very couple specific situations. Do you think hip fire is going to maybe play more of a role in D2 as sort of a way to counteract that sort of lack of strafe when you're ADS'd in?
So long range, not exactly. Maybe on PC, but on console, it didn't really feel. I wasn't comfortable ever unscoping anything like. So if you know the control map, for instance, and B capture point, there's like a little rock that each person can stand on across the way to get a view. Like that's too far away, in my opinion, to be able to hip fire somebody. And just that map in general is built where that was like one of the longer sight lines, unless you're mid map and staring into one of the bases, like flanking from the power weapon points. So I think it would be hard. Like, I know what the question is. I think it would be hard to really know, just based on like what the map we got to play on, how we got to test it. That makes sense.
Sure, fair
but
enough.
On D2 PC, fire didn't feel terrible. Like you had said, it felt pretty nice actually at times. I wasn't uncomfortable doing it. It's like in Destiny 1, if I hip fire somebody at anything more than 2 feet away from them, I'm like, oh my god, I just hit the shot.
All right.
Cause for celebration.
Yeah. When that didn't happen on the PC version, at least for Destiny 2.
I'm curious to see if any perks will come into play in that regard, because we have stuff like hip fire perks on guns now, and we might see some in the future that would hopefully be tweaked. So I'm curious to see if that changes anything.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we haven't really talked about much yet is secondary usage, and like, look at us using and talking about our primaries. And granted, we had a pretty limited set to choose from in the beta. But I mean, obviously there were a couple standouts, but just sort of looking at the big picture, what do you think is gonna work well in D2, and what do you expect that you're going to be carrying into as your power weapon in once the game drops?
I mean, at this point, as far as PvP goes, Crucible, I would say the fusion rifle. Woo! Unless that receives a nerf of some sort. The range on it was pretty good. It was like the Saladin's Vision or whatever. Saladin's Vigil, I think, is a current fusion rifle, right?
Yeah.
It was like it was hitting that hard with a reduced charge time and almost a longer range. Didn't get staggered as hard.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any benefits to using a sniper rifle when you can have an open sight fusion rifle.
Exactly. That had pretty good hip fire as well, from at least the few times I used it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and plus it gets 6 shots. The shotgun only got 4. So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see some ammo adjustment because it didn't make sense to me why shotgun would get 4 with like a third of the range that didn't have even guaranteed kills, because there was still, like, it got confirmed that there was still jumping accuracy for shotguns. Like, I was on top of somebody with a bungee plate in my stream at one point. It's like, how did that shotgun not kill the guy? It's like, well, you were jumping. Oh, that's a little unfortunate.
That answers that.
Yep, exactly.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Well, man, there's so much to unpack in this sequel, and there's going to be a lot of PvE that I know the 4 of us are probably going to want to absorb first. But down the road, what can people expect to see you playing on stream in the sequel? Is it going to be a lot of PvP? Anything big? Are you gonna take on the tournament world?
Oh, that is $1 million question right there. So I think a lot of the guys in Tier 1 are kind of leaning towards focus on PvP right off the bat, but I kind of want to hit the PvE up. I want to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
We know that we're not getting a ranked playlist right off the bat, correct? I'm not going crazy on that.
Right, you're not.
I don't think they've even announced like when it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume it's safe to say then that the ranked playlist is coming out after the raid, right? It would make sense so they don't like stagger all their major releases at the same time.
I'd imagine that custom playlists and something like ranked would come with like maybe the first
DLC,
expansion.
right?
Yeah, because it's Osiris themed, so I'd assume it's PvP themed expansion that they're going to really like drop some big stuff during that. And that gives us plenty of time to hopefully dig into every little nook and cranny of the PvE.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's my goal right there. It's to do that. Sure.
Definitely to everyone listening, like don't like overlook it. It seems like it's going to be very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the scope from the strike, the inverted spire. I mean, I didn't even play it all that much. Only like 9 hours worth of it. And that's only 9 hours.
That's literally a second in actual Destiny hours. That is nothing.
we were talking earlier, like in our Discord, about how we saw someone who had like a new account that was only 300 hours on it. And we're like, oh, he hasn't even been playing all that much. And it's like, wait, 300 hours is not playing that much.
Right?
Yeah.
Destiny is something else. It really is.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'd encourage everyone who's listening to this, please go check out Riot on stream. If people want to find you on the internet, on stream, on Twitter, wherever, where can they find you?
Yeah, so my Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube's not exactly too active, but it's all T1 Riot.
I like someone that can keep the brand consistent across things. Makes it all easy.
Brands.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Just kind of winding down on Destiny 1. A couple of raids here and there. A couple of Crucible games.
Any other games you're playing to keep busy in the downtime?
I actually went back to Halo Reach yesterday.
Woo!
Yeah,
it all comes full circle.
I'm not sure if I wanted to or not anymore. Oh my goodness. It was weird. It was like there's people I remember playing against in 2010 who I don't know if they just even remembered me, but I very clearly recognized playing their 8-man team still searching this game or that game 7 years later. And they are troopers right there. That's for sure.
Wow.
That is dedication.
All right, folks, you've heard it here first. Go check out Tier 1 Riot on the internet, on stream. Great player, great guy. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun talking to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Letting me rant a bit. Appreciate it.
You got to come back when there's D2 to break down, man. We're going to need you to explain scout rifles.
Steal you for our PvE episode.
Yeah. We'll just talk lost sectors. What am I talking about?
Hey, either way, hopefully I'll have some knowledge.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
You see that everything I've done was for your good. You burn it like a house fire, turning like it's night as bright as day, keeping our neighborhood awake. What's it gonna take?
well, Swain is holding on by a thread. Good interview. I like that guy. I'm hoping to hear more from Riot and those 2-1 guys in the future. So stay tuned. But that is going to take us through another episode of Crucible Radio. Hold on tight, guys. We're almost
so
there.
close.
Thank you, everyone who's sticking with us. You know, we might not have too much new in the D1 world to talk about, but you know we always got something to talk about, and we're grateful that you guys are choosing to hang out with us week after week. So, yeah.
We're also, like, as soon as it drops, we're going to be your source for every single last detail for PvP. Maps, interviews with top players, interviews with Bungie employees. Yeah, that's a tease.
Yep.
We're gonna have NewsCon. It's been too long.
Dude, the first episode of Crucible Radio, once we know stuff about the Crucible in D2, after playing it, will be like that feeling when you come out of hyperspeed and you fly and you're suddenly like in an asteroid field. That's what it's going to feel like. It'll be like, oh my God, there's so much information.
Let's go.
Yep. I'm excited
too.
So, as always, give us follows everywhere. Crucible Radio. Check out the website, see if it's done yet. crucibleradio.com.
Doubling down on that one.
And follow us on Twitch. Mine is Swain Stash, and recently affiliated Bones here.
Yeah!
Yay! I did it.
Bones_CR.
Yeah, come on over. Sub if you want, I guess. It's going to be a fun time. I'm excited to stream a lot of Destiny 2 and have a lot of stuff to play. Until then, I'll just be like fishing in Final Fantasy. So just wait till
If you
2
want a
weeks from
sick
now.
fishing stream, head on over. All right, everyone.
Thank you. We love you.
Goodbye.
What's up, everyone? Bones here. Do you like podcasts? Do you like chill conversation? Well, me and my co-hosts Swain and Birds put out a bonus podcast every month on Patreon. If you want to check it out and be a part of more awesome stuff, head over to patreon.com/Crucible Radio and join the squad. See you there.